Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Roger Paul, and today we are going to continue our study with paper 13, the Sacred Spheres of Paradise, and we're on the second section, the Father-World relationship. We're on paragraph 3. Now, this is an interesting paper in that it's not got that many sections. It only has 4 sections. So this next one's got a few paragraphs, but the next 2 sections are pretty short. So there's a possibility we might make it through this tonight. Maybe not, but we'll give it a shot. All right. Let's see here. Diane, would you like to start us out?
Okay. These home worlds of the diverse orders of spiritual beings are tremendous and stupendous spheres, and they are equal to paradise in their matchless beauty and superb glory. They are rendezvous worlds, reunion spheres, serving as permanent cosmic addresses. As finalators, you will be domiciled on paradise, but Ascendington will be your home address at all times, even when you enter service in
I lost you, dear.
You lost me?
Oh, you're back. Okay, go ahead. Say that
Oh, my internet connection was unstable.
again.
Okay. Through
Yeah.
all eternity, you will regard Ascendington as your home of sentimental memories and reminiscent recollection. When you become seventh stage spirit beings, possibly you will give up your residential status on paradise. Hmm.
Okay. We read that last time, but
I
that's
think we
okay.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
It was very familiar.
I meant you to start from 3, but that's okay. It
Are
refreshes
you
my
for
memory.
3? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
all right.
Oh, yeah. If outer space, those two are read together.
There's Linda.
Ah,
Hi, Linda.
I don't see her.
Hello,
Uh,
Linda.
all right, let's go ahead since we already talked about this one. And well, let me review it from last time. Last time we talked about how these worlds are a superb glory, right? And they're huge, beyond our imagination, right? And that will be our what we consider our paradise home, even when we move out into the outer space level. Okay, so notice here it says something. I don't know if I mentioned this last time or not, but it says when we become seventh stage spirit beings, we may give up our residential status on paradise. What are they talking about? Do y'all know what that is? Seventh stage spirit beings. We when we become finalators, we are still only sixth stage spirits. Okay. And we will not become seventh stage spirits until all 7 super universes reach light and life. Okay. And once that happens, we will all become seventh stage spirits at the same time. All of us. So the entire 7 super universes will all become 7 stage spirits at the same time. All right. All
I
right.
got
And
a
let's go
question.
ahead and, yes, go ahead.
All these writers in the Urantia book, what stage spirits are they?
They're just 6 spirits too, because nothing has reached light and life. In other words, not all 7 super universes have reached light and life. So they're considered 6 stage spirits too. Now, not all beings are considered 6 stage spirits, right? We're just talking about ascendant
Ascending.
beings, right? Like the Trinity origin beings and those sort of things. Those are perfected beings. They're not on the ascension scale. So they will not be considered 7th stage spirits, right?
Like for example, the title of the author, this is the perfecter of wisdom. That's one of the stationary Trinidad.
That's right.
Their job. They're
Yeah.
not into attending stuff.
Yeah, they're already where they need to be, right?
Yeah.
They have all the perfect knowledge they need right where they are. And this is interesting that they're this way, because in a couple paragraphs down, we're going to find out that Ascendington, they are not allowed on certain sections of Ascendington, okay? Because they have not experienced ascension. Okay, which is we're going to get to that paragraph in a minute. Let's go on to the next paragraph and move on. Jane, would you take the next? We've already read this one too, but let's just review ourselves. Okay,
Okay, is that 13, 2,
2, 2.
3?
No, 2, 2.
2, 3.
If outer universes are in the making, if they are to be inhabited by time creatures of ascension potential, then we infer that these children of the future will also be destined to look upon Ascendington as their paradise home world.
Okay, so this will be the beings from the outer space level, right? These will be transcendental, absonite beings. Okay, they won't be mortals as we are. They will be transcendental, absonite beings that's making the progress from the outer space levels in through the seven super universes. Okay, so they have to go through a different experience than we do, a little bit different experience. Okay.
Mhm.
All right, Ed, would you take the next one, please?
Sure. Ascending, whoops.
Sorry.
There we go. Ascendington is the only sacred sphere that will be unreservedly open to your inspection as a paradise arrival. Vice Gerrington is the only sacred sphere that is wholly and unreservedly open to my scrutiny. Through its secrets
Though it's
are, though
yeah,
though its
Yeah.
though its secrets are concerned in my origin, or that in the beginning,
okay.
th- though its secrets are concerned in my origin, in this universe age, I do not regard Vice Gerrington as my home. Trinity origin beings and trinitized beings are not the same.
Okay, so he considers his home paradise. Okay, because Trinity origin, it's going to tell us this in the next paragraph, of course, but Trinity origin beings are created perfectly and they live on the Isle of Paradise, right? Trinitized beings are beings that come up through the universe. Okay, and so that's why they would have a different home. Now, Vice Gerrington is open to his inspection, but Ascendington is not. And he's going to say that a little bit later, if he hasn't said it already. Not all areas of Ascendington are open to him, and not all areas of Signarington are open to him. Where we will be open to Signarington once we become Finalitors, but not, there's one area that will never be open to us, and that's the area of the Paradise Creator Sign, right? So that will never be open to us. Okay. Letch, would you take the next one, please?
Okay. The Trinity origin beings do not fully share the Father's worlds. They have their soul homes on the Isle of Paradise in close proximity to the most holy sphere. They often appear on Ascendington, the bosom of the Father, Son, Spirit, where they fraternize with their brethren who have come up from the lowly worlds of space.
Okay, so remember the most holy sphere. Y'all remember when we talked about this? How
It's an upper paradise.
it's an upper paradise. That's right. It's a worship area. Okay, the most holy sphere. So there's no residences there. Okay, that's why it says here they're in close proximity to the most holy sphere, because there's no buildings on the holy sphere. It's entirely reserved for worship. Okay, and so that's why they go to Ascendington to fraternize with the people, what they call the brethren, who come up from the lowly worlds of time and space. That's us. That's where we will fraternize with them. All right, let me move this down a little bit. Okay. Rodney, would you take the next one?
Yes. You might assume that creator sons, being of father son origin, would regard Vice Gerrington as their home, but such is not the case in this universe age of the function of God, the sevenfold. And there are many similar problems that will perplex you, for you are sure to encounter many difficulties as you attempt to understand these things which are so near paradise. Nor can you successfully reason out these questions. You know so little. And if you knew more about the Father's worlds, you would simply encounter more difficulties until you knew all about them. Status on any of these secret worlds is acquired by service as well as by nature of origin, and the successive universe ages may and do redistribute certain of these personality groupings.
Okay, so first it starts to talk about how the creator sons, all right, it says you would assume that Vicegerrington is their home, but it's not. Why would you assume that? Because Vicegerrington is the home of those beings that are vicegerents of the deities, right? And if you think about it, that's what a creator son is. He's a vicegerent of God the Father and God the Son. Okay, so what they're talking us here, this is not the case because it's the function of God the sevenfold. Remember what God the sevenfold is? God the Father, God the Son, God the Spirit, the supreme being, right? Through creator sons and daughters and the ancients of days, right? So it's a group.
Seven master spirits.
The seven master spirits, that's right. And it's a group of beings that are vicegerents of the gods, really. Think about it, okay? Because they're the sevenfold deity reality of the Trinity, okay? And that's why it's different than what you see. And that's why he says here, these and many similar problems will perplex you. It perplexes us already, right? That must be part of that local universe book I was talking about, right? When we get to the mansion worlds, because they can't explain everything to us in such a short revelation, even though it seems long. Okay, and then it goes on to tell us that many of the secrets that we run into on all these fathers' worlds, we will learn about as we acquire service. In other words, as we serve through the universes, we'll get more experience, and then we'll be more apt to understand the secrets of these other worlds, okay, which we can visit and learn about, and meet the secrets of supremacy. Okay, all right.
You know, if I may, let me say, if I could, Roger, I'm gonna see what y'all think about this. You assume the creator sons will be on Vicegerrington, but it says in the rest of that sentence, but not in such a case in this universe age. They're
This
still
universe
working.
age. That's
I mean,
right.
they're in the local,
Yeah.
they're not out of a job yet. When everything has reached perfection, now they're out of a job. You know, they haven't go home.
Yeah.
Or
And we're
go on
talking
vacation
billions of
or what
world,
have you.
billions of years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see that. Why would they say that? I mean, I don't understand. I guess
I think to impress on the fact that the ages change as we go through time. Each age brings a new understanding of what's unfolding,
well, that
right?
could very well be. Yeah.
You know, and it's funny that brings me to a point, Mike, that I want to mention. I meaning to call you. I've been so busy with projects around the house. That's why I have a problem. You know, you sent me those charts and stuff you sent me.
Yeah.
I got a chance to look at them on Sunday. I studied them for 3 or 4 hours. And I have issues throughout all of them. And the reason being is they're not backed up by what the revelation tells us. Okay. And that's the problem I have with channeling is people come up with these concepts and ideas that has no basis in the book itself. So it'll be interesting. I don't know how many of y'all had a chance to sign up for this this study on Orvanton, I think that's going to be really interesting because he may bring up some of these alternate concepts, like they're talking about, and I'm interested to what they say. But since he's got the guy that's teaching it has 48 years of reading the book, like I do, and so mine's not quite 48 years yet, but he has enough experience reading the book. He should be a very good teacher, and he should know the basis of the book very well, and that's what makes a good teacher is digesting the book and being able to relate that to other people without inserting too much of your own speculation of reality, because it pretty much spells out reality as it is, wouldn't you say, from the book?
Yes.
So
Definitely.
that's why I want to mention that. I just hadn't had a chance to talk to you about it.
Yeah, I'll give you a holler because I want to.
Yeah,
yeah.
we'll discuss it a little further. It's just there's multiple errors I found in it that really concern me, So I won't be using any of the charts. I'll tell you that. Anyway, some of them are really good too, which really disappoints me. But anyway, let's go on to the next one. Mike, would you take the next one?
Sure. Let's see here. The worlds of the inner circuit are really fraternal or status worlds more than actual residential spheres. Mortals will attain some status on each of the Father's worlds, save for one. For example, when you mortals attain Havona, you will be granted clearance for Ascendington, where you are most welcome. But you are not permitted to visit the other 6 sacred worlds. Subsequent to your passage through the paradise regime and after your admission to the core of the finality, you will be granted clearance for Cenarington, since you are sons of God as well as ascenders. And you are even more. There will always remain 1/7 of Cenarington, the sector of the incarnation secrets of the divine sons, which will not be open to your scrutiny. Never will those secrets be revealed to the ascendant sons of God.
Okay, so there'll always be that 1/7, like we talked about on Cenarington, that we will not be able to go to, right? There will be those secrets of that area that we will not learn because we are not what? Creator son, right? That's not in our experience. All right. Bill, would you take the next one?
Sure. Eventually, you will have full access to Ascendington and relative access to the other spheres of the Father, except Divinington. But when you are granted permission to land on 5 additional secret spheres, after you have become a finaliter, you will not be allowed to visit all sectors of such worlds, nor will you be permitted to land on the shores of Divinington, the bosom of the Father, though you shall surely stand repeatedly at the right hand of the Father. Never throughout all eternity will there arise any necessity for your presence on the world of the thought adjusters.
So there'll be sectors in each one of these worlds we won't have access to, right? So those secrets of those worlds we won't have access to because they have nothing to do with us, right? Which is interesting because if you think about Divinington and the thought adjusters coming from Divinington, that becomes part of us, right? And I guess even though we remember experiences from the thought adjuster pre-us before we fuse, I guess we never have remembrances of being on Divinington as the thought adjuster, I would assume, because we don't ever know those secrets, right? All right. That's just the speculation.
Yeah.
Right. But it's interesting that we won't ever have access to Divinington. And they call that the bosom of the Father, even though we will have access to the right hand of the Father, which is quite interesting. It's also interesting that Jesus had mentioned being at the right hand of God the Father many times. throughout his career,
Mhm.
right? All right. Linda, would you like to take the next one?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Are we on 8 or 9?
8.
These rendezvous worlds of spirit life are forbidden ground to the extent that we are asked not to negotiate entrance to those phases of these spheres which are wholly outside our realms of experience. You may become creature perfect, even as the universal Father is deity perfect, but you may not know all the experiential secrets of all the other orders of universe personalities. When the Creator has an experiential personality secret with his creature, the Creator preserves that secret in eternal confidence.
So the secret of us being fused with the thought adjuster will always remain our secret. And God the Father will never share that with another being. Okay. But it works for all the other creatures too that come from different backgrounds. Their origin and their relationship with the Universal Father, they will not share with us either. Right. So it works all the way around. Okay. And this is part of the secrets of the Trinity. All right, Millie, would you like to take the next one, please?
Yes. All these secrets are supposedly known to the collective body of the Trinitized secrets of supremacy. These beings are fully known only by their special world groups. They are little comprehended by other orders. After you attain paradise, you will know and ardently love the 10 secrets of supremacy, who direct Ascendington, accepting Divinington. You will also achieve a partial understanding of the secrets of supremacy on the other worlds of the Father, though not so perfectly as on Ascendington.
Okay, so we will learn and understand many of the other secrets of supremacy on the other worlds, right? Right, but not as well as we will of the ones on Ascendington, because that's our background, right?
Mhm.
All right. Let's see here. I think we're back up to you, Diane.
Trinitized secrets of supremacy, as their name might suggest, are related to the supreme. They are likewise related to the ultimate and to the future supreme ultimate. These secrets of supremacy are the secrets of the supreme and also the secrets of the ultimate, even the secrets of the supreme ultimate.
Okay, so remember the ultimate. Let me click on this link and we'll go out here and take a little trip out here to the ultimate. It'll bring it up. My internet's
Maybe.
slow. Maybe I'll get it up here. Okay, we won't worry about it. Okay, so let me kind of explain how this works in relation to the ultimate. The ultimate will come into fruition when the 4 outer space levels come to full fruition. Okay, and the ultimate has to do with what?
Abstinent.
Huh? The transcendentals and the
Yeah,
abstinent, right?
abstinent. Yeah.
That's right. So when the supreme comes into full fruition, it will be when the 7 super universes are finally settled in light and life.
Mhm.
But the ultimate and the supreme ultimate will not come into full fruition until the 4 outer space levels do the same thing. You think that might take some time?
I'll say.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
So,
Billions
Roger-
and billions and billions of years. Yes,
Exactly.
Roger,
yeah.
that still doesn't explain the supreme ultimate.
The supreme ultimate. Yes, it does. That's why I wanted to go down here. Okay. And I got to get to God the ultimate here. Let me see if I can get there. Here we go. All right. There was something in here when I was studying the okay. Here we go right here. God the ultimate. Deity consequence. Notice it says consequence of the unity of transcendental and abstinent divinity. Okay, that's a totally different type of being, right?
Mhm.
And there was a quote down here about the supreme ultimate too. See if I can find it. I can't locate it, but it has to do with the full fruition of all four outer space levels. And it's also part of the Trinity of having to do with the ultimate.
Would,
You know,
would
our
that,
chart,
I'm sorry.
go
Would-
ahead.
I'm just speculating.
Yeah,
Supreme emerges, ultimate emerges.
right.
And would the supreme ultimate be that
Combination
flow
of
in
both.
between there and the absolute?
It's the combination of both. Rodney has it
Okay.
right. It's the combination of the supreme, the ultimate, and creates the supreme ultimate. It's a trinitation factor. It's one of the trinities. Okay,
Hmm.
and that won't come into
Okay.
it comes into being later on. Okay, here we go. Super supreme absolute unification of the first experiential trinity. So the supreme or the ultimate and the supreme ultimate has to do with experience. That's why it says down here it's wholly experiential. Okay, so it's only through the growth of this experience of the universes and the four outer space levels does this being come into full existence.
Yeah.
You follow
Yeah.
me?
Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm asking. That
Yes.
first experiential trinity, it's a,
Yes.
it's a trinity. So it includes God, the supreme, the
Yes.
creator, what is it called? The supreme creator personalities and
Right.
the absolute architects of the universe.
Master universe. Right.
Those three make that first experiential trinity. And doesn't that, or I'm asking, does that come into play once the seven super universes have been settled? Or not?
Yes. Yes. Once the seven super universes has been settled in light and life, not only that, Mike, but the four outer space levels have to be settled too. Okay. So we're talking billions of years. All right. Before this comes into it's acting now because it's growing experience. Okay. Don't let me think I'm misleading you and that's not acting now. It is. It's like the supreme. Even though the supreme is not in full fruition, it's acting through these secrets of supremacy, if you think about it. All right. It's growing experience, and the ultimate will do the same thing, right? And the supreme ultimate both. Okay. That's why it says here, are related to the supreme. They are likewise related to the ultimate and to the future supreme ultimate. So it's part of that supreme ultimate. Okay.
Yeah.
You with me? Everybody clear? Okay.
What do you think, Rodney? What do you think, Rodney?
You clear, Rodney?
I'm just
I'm
asking.
clear. I think that's cool. Thank you.
Well,
Okay. All right. Go on to the next one. 3, the sacred worlds of the eternal sun. This is a short segment here. Who's next? Who just read? Diane did,
I
right?
did, yeah.
Diane.
Okay, Jane, would you take the next one, please?
Yes, the seven luminous spheres of the eternal sun are the worlds of the seven phases of pure spirit existence. These shining orbs are the source of the threefold light of paradise and Havona, their influence being largely, but not wholly, confined to the central universe.
All right. Sweetie, you need to go check
My
page.
screen is
Okay.
flashing.
Because
Can I
somebody's
do
hit-
anything about that?
I'm sorry, Jane. Could you say that again?
My screen keeps flashing. Can I stop it from flashing somehow?
Move your mouse around, see if it helps it.
looking good from here.
Okay.
Yeah, I can
Well,
see it reflecting in your glasses.
In your glasses.
can you? Oh, interesting. Okay, well, I don't know what to do. I can minimize it. I suppose I do have the book, or take the video off.
No, don't take the video off. Just, just move your screen around a little bit. It may have a short in it or something. It stopped now, didn't it? What did you do?
Mhm.
I don't know what you did, but it stopped now. That's odd. More than likely, you were pressing a key and didn't know it somehow. That's usually
Well,
what would cause something like that. Okay. All right. So let's go on to the seven luminous sphere, the eternal sun. Now, they don't tell us a whole lot about this. And let me tell you why. This is the worlds of pure spirit existence.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that's right.
And so beings of pure spirit existence are not something that we're going to know in this age or the age to come, even close. So these are beings without personality. Okay. And it's going to talk about this in this next paragraph a little bit.
Isn't that incredible? And then because the eternal sun is the absolute personality, but they don't have.
Absolutely. Yeah. But they
That's
don't
crazy.
have personality,
Yeah.
right? The spirit being. Yeah. Don't ask me. I didn't make it. I'm not making this stuff up right. All right. Ed, would you take the next one, please?
certainly. Personality is not present in these paradise satellites. Therefore, is there little concerning these pure spirit abodes, which can be presented to the mortal and material personalities. We are taught that these worlds teem with the otherwise than personal life of the beings of the eternal sun.
Wow.
We infer that these entities are being assembled for ministry to the projected new universes of outer space. The paradise philosophers maintain that each paradise cycle, about 2 billion years of Urantia time, witnesses the creation and additional reserves of these orders on the secret worlds of the eternal sun.
Okay, so about every 2 billion worlds, there's a whole new group of them, right?
Yeah.
But they don't really tell us who they are, what they do, or how they work, or anything, right? We just know that they're there, and so they domicile on these worlds of the sun, and so we will not these will not be one of those worlds we'll be concerned with, right? Because we're not concerned as spirit beings yet. Right?
It's fascinating to just imagine, just daydreaming about how these things are going to materialize themselves in those outer space levels. I'm
Yeah, it
fascinated
is.
by it. I mean,
Yeah,
truth. That's why those things kind of caught my eye. Is that what will just imagine what that
Yeah.
would be like? I don't
I
know.
can't imagine
Have
what a
fun, sit around
transcendental
and think about
being
what
is.
might happen.
Yeah, yeah. How about these absonite and transcendental beings? I can't even get a concept in my head of what kind of beings those would be. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something that they're experiential, but they're not limited by time and space. It's
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
Apparently they don't have these physical problems we do, right?
No.
Right.
Okay, Letch, would you take the next?
Okay. As far as I am informed, no personality has ever been on any one of these spheres of the eternal sun. I have never been assigned to visit one of these worlds in all my long experience in and out of paradise. Even the personalities co-created by the eternal sun do not go to these worlds. We infer that all types of impersonal spirits, regardless of parentage, are admitted to those spirit homes. As I am a person and have a spirit form, no doubt such a world would seem empty and deserted, even if I were permitted to pay it a visit. High spirit personalities are not given to the gratification of purposeless curiosity, purely useless adventure. There is at all times altogether too much intriguing and purposeful adventure to permit the development of any great interest in those projects which are either futile or unreal.
Unreal. Notice that, unreal. Now, this is a guy, a Trinity created being, right? And a high spirit personality, but he has personality. He's talking about these beings he says, I am a person, have a spirit form, right? So that infers to us that the beings on this world have no spirit form, right?
Mhm.
So, how you would recognize such a being, he doesn't know, and we sure don't, right?
Right.
So this world, that's why he said this world would seem empty and deserted if I was permitted to visit there, because he wouldn't recognize anything, right? Just like we don't see all the millions of beings on this planet that are assigned to this planet for administration on this planet. We don't see any of them, do we? Okay, we don't see the guardian angels. We don't see the administrative beings. We don't see the Melchizedeks. We don't see the Most Highs. We don't see any of them because they're outside our sight. So what he's telling us that if was to go to this planet, those types of beings are outside his sight. So it would seem like nobody was there, right? So that's why he's never been there, because they're outside his recognition or his area of recognition.
Roger, I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't remember reading it in the UB, but do they ever describe what a spirit form is?
They do, but they talk about a spirit as having a body, just like we do. Okay. When we become a first
legs
stage,
and arms?
well, yeah, his arms just like we do. Yeah. A spirit form has a physical presence, just like a Urantia presence has a physical presence. It's
okay.
different than ours, but it's a physical presence. So when you go from being a Urantia being and those 490 transmutations to being upgraded each time, you still look like you, right? So when you become a spirit being, you have a new body or a different body. It's a spirit body, but it looks like you still, So even spirits have bodies. What he's telling us that the beings on this planet have no body that he can discern.
I understand that.
Oh, heck, I thought I was going to be looking better.
Only if you're true in spirit, Bill. Your spirit personality will reflect your inner self. So if you're a good guy, you'll be handsome as all get out. You'll still have hair, Bill. Me and you are both losing it all together. You'll probably all get a full head of hair again. Nobody will recognize us. Maybe not. They say everybody looks about 30 years old on the mansion world. So I look pretty good.
Hey, let me ask this. When in the middle of that paragraph, which I wrote down, is a beautiful explanation as best as they can. We infer that all types of impersonal spirits, regardless of parentage, are admitted to these spirit homes.
Mm-hmm.
But if he went there, he would see nothing. My question is, what about physical controllers, organizers, and like that? They are not personal beings. Are they?
They're not.
And that's just a question that popped into my head.
Yeah.
Are they visible to these higher beings? Is it because I don't know why?
I don't know. I really don't know. They may not, but they may not be. They well may not be. We know that the mechanical controllers are necessary. They must be visible because they actually have to manipulate matter, right? So they must have some kind of physical form.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm sure there's types of beings that may not have. I don't know. They tell us about them, but they don't tell us whether they have bodies or not, right?
Right. It's true.
Not that I see anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. This-
All right. Rodney, would you take the next one?
Yes. 4. Worlds of the infinite spirit. Between the inner circuit of Havana and the shining spheres of the eternal sun, there circle the 7 orbs of the infinite spirit, whose inhabited worlds inhabited by the offspring of the infinite spirit, by the trinitized sons of glorified created personalities, and by other types of unrevealed beings concerned with the effective administration of the many enterprises of the various realms of universe activities.
Okay, so this is it. These are the worlds of the infinite spirit where the master spirits, the master executives, all these beings originate from, right? And they send out all their many different types of beings under us to administer the grand universe. Okay. And it's going to talk about these in the next couple of paragraphs here. Let's just move on to the next paragraphs because it's going to explain them pretty well. Mike, would you take the next?
Yes, sir. The 7 master spirits are the supreme and ultimate representatives of the infinite spirit. They maintain their personal stations, their power focuses on the periphery of paradise, but all operations concerned with their management and direction of the grand universe are conducted on and from these 7 special executive spheres of the infinite spirit. The 7 master spirits are, in reality, the mind spirit balance wheel of the universe of universes, and all embracing, all encompassing, and all coordinating power of central location.
So this is where the mind circuit originates, right? It goes out from here to all 7 of the super universes. So if you think of the infinite spirit's mind circuit, this is where it comes from, right? And it's controlled by the 7 master spirit and the supreme executives and all those beings under them. Now, remember the other day when we were talking about a mighty messenger and how he travels through the mind circuit? Remember that?
Yeah.
At billions of miles an hour. Okay. This is that circuit that they travel on.
Second,
Huh?
millions of miles per second.
Billions of miles per second. What did I say? Per hour or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So these guys travel over the circuit. So look at it this way. They don't go flying off across the universe at this kind of speed because of what? They'd run into planets. They'd cream right into other matter, right? They have to go through the dark islands of space. They have to go through 2 circuits of that, which are so many of those, you can't even see through them, right? So think of it this way. These beings can travel on these circuits, even though it's a mind circuit, it's also used for other function. And these circuits are used for all functioning of things involving the grand universe, both physical, spiritual, everything, you know? It's not like just a line going out to one super universe. It's a mesh going out to all of them, right? And it comes for this super universe from this location. All right.
That's
And we're going to learn a little bit about it in this next paragraph. So,
Oh,
Bill,
Roger,
yeah,
it does make me wonder though, it's saying it's the mind circuits for the grand universe.
the grand
Surely
universe,
the
not the
master,
master universe,
yeah,
not the master universe yet. No,
but in the
right?
future, perhaps. it
In
will.
the future, it will be
Yeah.
for the master universe
Yeah, okay.
also, Rodney, but not now. But remember those charts we saw a few weeks back about how much is used in each of the 7 super universes and how much
Yeah,
is used.
I remember. Yeah.
That's the percentage that
Okay.
may be used out there now.
Gotcha.
All right, you want to take the next one, Rodney? Oh, no, wait a minute. Who just read?
I did.
All right, well,
Yeah.
Bill's up then. Right.
Okay. From these 7 special spheres, the master spirits operate to
Oops, sorry, Bill. Okay.
equalize and stabilize the cosmic mind circuits of the grand universe. They also have to do with the differential spiritual attitude and presence of the deities throughout the grand universe. Physical reactions are uniform, unvarying, and always instantaneous and automatic. But experiential spiritual presence is in accordance with the underlying conditions or states of spiritual receptivity inherent in the individual minds of the realm.
Okay, so the physical reactions that control everything is automatic, right? Comes from here, but it works automatic. They don't have to think about it. It just reacts, right? But the spiritual presence over this circuit of the cosmic mind circuit, the spiritual presence is related to how much receptivity there is in each and every individual mind of each and every person of the realms. So how much spiritual knowledge you possess, how much spiritual presence there is in your life, and how open you are to these spiritual influences is determined by whom? Yourself, right? It's all about you. How much you let in, how much you're in touch with that thought adjuster, right?
And
How
that's
much
another,
you're in to the cosmic mind, right? What was you going to say, Rodney?
sorry, I thought you were finished.
No,
Another reason why we're still known as a dark planet,
yeah. Yeah.
you know?
I guess our minds are pretty dark, aren't they?
Pretty dark.
Yeah, I would say so. Now, right beneath this, I have just a little picture, and it just shows the 7 supreme executives on these spheres and how they control each of one of the 7 super universes, right? All right, so that's what that picture is.
Are they in alignment on that? Are they like,
No, that's what I was talking about a few weeks ago.
Okay.
That's more like a donut, right? If you think
uh,
about it, they are
Hmm.
constantly moving, and the super universes are moving in a different location, right? So if you think of the donut, it bathes the outside of the donut to the inside where the 7 super universes are, right? So if you think of pervaded space, that's a good way to look at it. It's not a direct connection just to one universe. It goes to all of them. But they're keyed in to that super universe, right? Probably the signal goes out to all 7 of them, but it only picks up from the universe that it's talking about, right?
that makes sense.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's see who is next. Bill, did you just read? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Linda, I think you're up.
Is it number 4?
Yeah.
Physical authority, presence, and function are unvarying in all the universes, small or great. The differing factor in spiritual presence or reaction is the fluctuating differential in its recognition and reception by will creatures. Whereas the spiritual presence of absolute and existential deity is in no manner whatever influenced by attitudes of loyalty or disloyalty on the part of the created beings. At the same time, it is true that the functioning presence of sub-absolute and experiential deity is definitely and directly influenced by the decisions, choices, and will attitudes of such finite creature beings, by the loyalty and devotion of the individual being, planet, system, constellation, or universe. But this spiritual presence of divinity is not whimsical nor arbitrary. Its experiential variance is inherent in the free will endowment of personal creatures.
So it's all about us, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
It's all about our free will. All right. And the free will of the planet, the system, the constellation, of the universe. So remember the other night I was talking about if we err, it affects everyone. When we make bad decisions, it affects everyone, right?
Mhm.
So whatever errors we make as a person affects the errors of the whole. And whatever the whole make as a planet system, constellation, or universe, it affects all individuals, right? It's part of the system of the universe. If you think about it, it's like a human body, okay? If you have disease in the human body in one place, it affects the entire body, right? It's the same principle. When we go against the will of God as an individual, it affects the entire universe, just like illness infects our entire body, right? Okay.
Roger,
Yeah,
did, are they talking about the supreme being in the middle of that paragraph? That the
they are.
functioning presence of
Yeah,
okay. Why don't
yeah,
you
they
say that?
definitely they definitely are. It's the experience of that, right, Mike? The
Yes.
experiential part. That's the supreme being, right?
Okay.
And it affects, that's why, it's kind of funny that you say that, because that's why every experience of every human being goes into the supreme too. Because if it didn't, it would not do what? It would not affect the whole, right?
No.
The experience of one uh, affects the experience of everyone. All right. It's interesting that that's the case, because even with that, we are still individuals, right?
Right.
Each one.
Right.
Okay. See if we can finish this. Millie, would you take the next one? Millie?
Really.
Yes.
Okay.
This starts what, the determiner?
The determiner, that's right.
The determiner of the differential of spiritual presence exists in your own hearts and minds and consists in the manner of your own choosing, in the decisions of your mind, and in the determination of your own wills. This differential is inherent in the free will reactions of intelligent personal beings, being whom the Universal Father has ordained shall exercise this liberty of choosing, and the deities are ever true to the ebb and flow of their spirits in meeting and satisfying the conditions and demands of this differential of creature choice, now bestowing more of their presence in response to a sincere desire for the same, again, withdrawing them from the scene as their creatures decide adversely in the exercise of their divinely bestowed freedom of choice. And thus does the spirit of divinity become humbly obedient to the choosing of the creatures of the realm.
That's pretty close to a long run-on sentence if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
That's a long one.
Oh,
They come if you're using them. If you don't use them, they go away.
that's right. That's right. It's all about free will, right? Free will is supreme, right? Whatever choices you make, the deities move within those choices, right? I think that's, let me see how much, yeah, that's all this one here. Okay. The ebb and flow of free will, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Diane, would you take the next
The
one?
executive abodes of the seven master spirits are in reality the paradise headquarters of the seven super universes and their correlated segments in outer space. Each master spirit presides over one super universe, and each of these seven worlds is exclusively assigned to one of the master spirits. There is literally no phase of the sub-paradise administration of the seven super universes which is not provided for on these executive worlds. They are not so exclusive as the spheres of the Father or those of the Son, and though residential status is limited to native beings and those who work thereon, these seven administrative planets are always open to all beings who desire to visit them and who can command the necessary means of transit. That's
Notice
important.
that can command the necessary means of transit. In other words, you got to be authorized and taken there by one of the transport angels, right? So there's
Gotta
no
have a
car.
ticket.
You got to have a ticket. There are no ticky, no fly, right?
You
All
got a
right.
ticket to ride.
That's right. All right. So that's the way it is. And no phase of the universe is not controlled by this. So you can think about it, these seven worlds are really the control center for all the seven super universes, not paradise. Okay. I got one more paragraph and I'm going to show you this little picture down here, but I stuck it in as a side note. Jane, could you take that last one for me, please, dear?
Yes. To me, these executive worlds are the most interesting and intriguing spots outside of paradise. In no other place in the wide universe can one observe such varied activities involving so many different orders of living beings, having to do with operations on so many diverse levels, occupations at once material, intellectual, and spiritual. When I am accorded a period of release from assignment, if I chance to be on Paradise or in Havana, I usually proceed to one of these busy worlds of the seven master spirits, there to inspire my mind with such spectacles of enterprise, devotion, loyalty, wisdom, and effectiveness. Nowhere else can I observe such an amazing interassociation of personality performances on all seven levels of universe reality. And I am always stimulated by the activities of those who well know how to do their work and who so thoroughly enjoy doing it.
Okay, so he goes to get inspired himself, doesn't he? And he does it. He's stimulated by what? All seven levels.
Yeah.
You see that? All seven levels. You know, there's that quote from Jesus from 130. It's seven
Yes.
levels
Yes.
of reality,
Yes.
right? Paper 130. All right. It all comes
Yeah.
down to that, you know. And I want to inspire y'all here with a little picture. And here we are. See this little guy in the center? And this
Yeah.
is the first circuit of Havana. That's us jumping off into the sacred spheres of paradise. How about that? Right. Our little inspiration. We know we can make it one way or another. And this was presented by a Perfecter of Wisdom commission, thus to function by the ancients of days on your stuff. And next time we'll take up paper 14, the central and divine universe. All right. Back to gallery view and see everybody. There, everybody. All right. We do have faces, don't we?
Yeah.
Believe it or not. Well, that was a pretty good paper. I enjoyed it. I hope
That was
y'all
nice.
did.
Very nice.
And we'll take up a new paper now. Let me stop the video. I want to talk to y'all about this class coming up to anybody that didn't know about it or anything like that.
Turning
Let
it
me
off
say,
now.
no, don't stop it yet. Let me say a
Okay.
quick prayer,
Okay.
dear. Lord, thank you for bringing us together tonight. Thank you for this wonderful paper and telling us what we have to look forward to. We thank you for these people that gather together, that love each other and work together and try to learn this book, this revelation that you've provided for us. Open our hearts and minds that we might share it with others and that it might benefit our lives. We thank you for those at home that listen to the video. There's many of those that I hear from. We thank you for them, and we thank you for all of our many blessings each and every day. We say this in the name of your son, Michael, Jesus of Nazareth. Amen.
Amen.
Amen.